Alright, bringing you another Deep Rock Galactic video. So Season 2 is right around the corner. I mean, it's a couple days away here. So I wanted to bring you one last guide before that kicks off, and today we're going to be talking about Bosco. So if you haven't used Bosco, don't know what that is, you're going to come out the doors, and you're going to come up to here. Yeah, so Bosco is your friend. I think by now most people know what Bosco is, but if you do solo missions, this little robot guy will follow you around by default. Now, if for some crazy reason, like you want to make a YouTube video and look really flashy and cool, you're going to click this off so you don't bring Bosco. But if you're a sane-minded person and you want to have more fun, bring Bosco. Well, fun is subjective, but there it is. If you want to bring him or not bring him, you click that there. So let's talk about a few things about Bosco. Let's talk about his builds, and then let's talk about some of the things he can do. So, we talk about builds here. This is all, as always, very subjective. Bam. Now, no one can argue with me. No, go ahead. Put your comments down below. Tell me why I'm wrong, or what you think is better, what works for you. So, with all that subjectivity in mind, this can kind of go either way. But I'm just going to tell you kind of from like a scout's point of view, I guess, what I like to use, although I rarely, if ever, do solo missions. So, when you come to Tier 1 here, basically you're looking at damage, an extra revive, or to mine faster. Now, if you were playing Driller, I really do not think you would need this, but no, I don't know, maybe there's an argument you can make for it, but definitely as Driller, it's probably least useful. I think if you go online or if you talk to other folks, they're probably going to tell you that the digging is the best one. I feel like because I play Scout and I do so much mining already, and I'm not terribly upset with his speed. I think some people think that he doesn't mine fast enough. I think he mines plenty fast without this, but from a scout's perspective, from my subjective point of view, I like the damage. I think it's noticeable. I think it helps. The problem with Scout is that he's maybe not the best wave clearer in the game, so if I can get a little extra oomph from my buddy, I'm all about it. So I go with damage, but I think you really can't go wrong going with either one of these two. If you're doing a lot of elite deep dives, I can see getting extra life. You get another opportunity here. I'll talk about that in a second. But I'm really thinking in Tier 1, you're looking at one of those two options. Okay, so Tier 2, you don't have a choice, so I'm not even going to talk about it. Tier 3, you're looking at either getting like a magnified radius for light when he shines lights on stuff. You can either get an extra life, or you can get like one extra rocket. This, without the light, it's silly. It's basically no light. So this is almost like a flashlight on option. I mean, he technically can shine light on things or where you point, but without this, it's really not very good. I think even with this, it's not incredible. And again, this is coming from a scout's perspective because, flares. So I'm spoiled, you can say, by how much light I can throw out. So of course I poo-poo how good this probably actually is. I would say I'd probably gravitate towards this. I don't really find the extra rocket ammo all that super great. I guess I'd rather have a chance at coming back to fight again. But yeah, those are really your options. Light, another revive, or an extra rocket. I think one of these two options is probably your best bet. If you're not playing Scout, this is probably what you want to do. If you're doing some like elite deep dives, or you're pushing a difficulty that is challenging to you, this might be a nice little security blanket here. So either of those is great. Alright, so the next tier. Either you can get fear on the rockets, you can get armor breaking on the rockets, or you can get basically like the ability to slow/freeze on the rockets. I think right here is probably the all-around choice that you want to make. Freezing things is incredible. I think in some cases you have to shoot it more than once depending on what you're trying to shoot to freeze. But yeah, it's incredible. Freezing things is just amazing. It's CC, and you can rip through stuff very easily once they're frozen, right? I mean, they take way more damage when they're frozen. So I think this is like the clear winner. Why wouldn't you use this? I think most items in the game, or most weapons, I should say, probably have some sort of armor-breaking capability. And or you could just position yourself better to hit weak points, so I don't know how useful this really is. The fear, I could see some arguments happening here to get the fear, but I kind of feel like it's more or less this is going to be the same thing or better. And there's two classes in particular, Engineer and the Gunner, I'm pretty sure. Don't know what's going to happen in Season 2. This could change for Season 2, but as of right now, I do not believe that the Engineer or Gunner can freeze anything, so this would give you a little something that class didn't have. So I think this is just the all-around clear winner, the go-to. I could see some arguments for this, and I don't know. I'm finding it harder to go with this one. But yeah, maybe. Again, subjective, but this is probably the easiest one. Okay, next. Jeez. Bigger area explosion for your rockets, faster regeneration, so that you can shoot your rockets faster again. That all sounds nice, but unfortunately, these are just two no's. This is the one you want. I don't think anyone's going to argue this. I think this is just the clear cut bread and butter. It's the winner. Every time it shoots with electrical damage, and it's a debuff in this game. And electric damage, I want to say the number is 75% slow. I hope that's right. Either way, whether it's 75% or not, every time this guy pings something, they're going to get slowed. And that's incredible. Right? I mean, a CC, that's phenomenal. I mean, comboing these two things together, Bosco's going to help you out big time here. So I think right here is a pretty good setup. You could really go either or on this one, and I think you could go either or on this one. I think this one's very popular. I like this because I play Scout, and I need a little more help. So I like the damage personally. Okay, so now that I've done the build, I'm going to transition over into some slides. That's right, because I am old and I like slides. So let's get that started. So here's the first slide here. I literally took this from the game. If you just hit escape and then you go to the miner's manual and you scroll down, you'll see a little Bosco piece. So yeah, I didn't make this, like they already had this. Why is this here? Why am I showing you this? If you don't know how to use Bosco, this is nice. They kind of display here what you have to press on the keyboard. Of course, if you change your key bindings, this is going to be a little different. One thing that I didn't see on this page, though, was they didn't talk about pressing X. So I stole this right from the Wikipedia page for Deep Rock Galactic, and I will absolutely have this link in the description, but I wanted to quote my source here because I literally just copied and pasted it. But yeah, if you press X, he basically stops what he's doing, and he comes to you, and he will defend you. So I press X a lot, yeah. So that, help me! I press X. Now, if he has an item, so if you had him mine something like a Jadis or an Aquark or, whatever, he's holding something large, if you press X, that same key, he will actually toss it to you. Pretty cool, huh? Now, what's that distance? When will he do it? You got to feel it out. But he needs to be kind of near you to toss it to you. But yeah, pretty cool there. So the next slides, I literally stole this from Spore Freak. This guy is awesome. I've never met him. I don't know who he is. But man, he can write a really awesome guide. And he wrote one on Bosco. I was looking for pictures to steal to include in this video that I'm doing for you. And the first one I stole was this guy's. And I was like, well, where's this coming from? And then I saw that he had this amazing guide. I really shouldn't even do a video because this guy nailed it. I don't think he really talked about the builds. If he did, I skimmed over it by mistake, so apologies there. But I'm pretty sure he talked about like the uses and the effectivenesses. So this guy's super cool. I'm going to have the link to this guide in the description. Please go visit it. It is great. I'm probably going to miss something that he had. It was a fantastic guide. So any other information is like 95% his, and all the pictures are absolutely going to be his. Like, this is one of his pictures. So once again, thank you to Spore Freak for providing this. So this little side note real quick. I actually had a second child yesterday. I know, how are you doing this video right now? I'm in the eye of the storm, where everyone is asleep, and I've snuck out to do this video. So I couldn't spend too much time grabbing photos and creating, all that stuff. So anyways, I found this. Thank you to him for making this video possible and for making these. Thank you. Anyways, so refinery, right? Bosco, what can he do? He can build the pipes. Incredible. So you have to lay them out initially yourself, right? I'm not saying that he's going to, do that whole thing for you. But once you lay all the pipes and you connect it for the first time, and then you'd have to go back, right, to the start, and then you'd have to build them. He can actually do that for you. He can do that building part. So, you lay out one whole thing of pipe, you send him to start building it, and you got to target it. I'm pretty sure you got to target it at the start or like closest to the refinery station. So you just do just like in this picture here, and he will start building the entire pipeline so that you can go off and do other things, harvest or build the next pipe. So that's really cool. That took me a while to actually learn that this was even possible. So really neat there. So yeah, he can build pipes for you, and he can also repair them. So there's going to be parts in this mission type where the bugs come out, and then you see like the gushing, the oil's going everywhere. And you get like the red, and you got to go up to those and repair them. Well, you can have Bosco do it instead. So terrific, builds and repairs. Escort, he's got a lot of functions here. So the coolest thing is that he defends the dozer. Now, does he do it 100%? Not exactly. Sometimes bugs can get like kind of trapped inside of it or underneath of it or like in the treads or whatever. But basically, as long as they're on the outside and visible, Bosco will light them up. All you have to do is just point your laser at the drill and have him go to it, and now he will just defend the drill. So he will fly with it and kill any bugs that are trying to attack it. Pretty sweet. He can also, so he can't actually use the canister, but what he can do is, so if there was like oil shell really high up, and this is always like the challenge, right? There's like, whoa, it's way up on the ceiling. What do? You can actually send Bosco up there, and he will harvest it into these little chunks, and then you can then use the canister on the chunks on the ground. Perfect. He can also destroy the pylons. So when you get to the end of the escort mission, and it's like, I think it's like the last phase or the second to last phase, all these pylons keep sprouting up out of the ground. He can actually quote unquote mine them, which destroys them. And you just want to make sure that you point at the tip. That's right, just the tip. All right, next. He's also really awesome for egg hunt missions. Yeah, you literally just point it at the area that the egg is in. He will dig, and then he will pick it out and come to you. And then you, once he's near you, you press X again. He'll toss it to you, and you can dump it. Pretty awesome. So lastly, he can. So this is a list that I more or less copy and pasted from Spore Freak's guide, and then I just kind of threw in some other things. If you see something here that I missed, please let me know in the comments below. But I think I got them all. So these are all the big objects that he can pick up. So sadly, there are things that he cannot pick up. And maybe I should have put a list of there, but I don't want to confuse anybody. He can't pick up fossils. He can't pick up those little mushroom things. There's a lot of like secondaries that he cannot touch. So I think the only secondary that he can touch are these gunk seeds. So he can't pick up everything, but yeah, all these for sure. And what he can do, right? Maybe I haven't said it. I should have said it sooner. He can mine stuff for you, which is incredible. Gold, nitro, morkite, red sugar, and of course dirt. Again, this is another picture from Spore Freak's guide here. This is probably what I use him the most for, or this is what I like using him the most for, and I use it without the, I think this is going to be, yeah, that's going to be the end. So let's go back to the game here. I use it without this, believe it or not, and I think he drills, I think he goes through it just fine. So if you really want to speed that up, use him to, have this in your build here to dig through walls even faster. So anyways, that was a mouthful. That was a lot. I kind of rambled on a bit. That's not what we want. That was me capturing his picture there. Can I go back to this? I just want to bring up his name one more time because he made this video so easy for me, so quick. So big thank you to Spore Freak. Please, 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 please go to his guide. I'm going to have it in the description. So yeah, I did make the baby announcement as baby number 2. It's a girl. We're very excited. So now I have a 3-year-old son, and now I have a newborn baby girl. We're very happy. The missus is currently in the hospital right now. They have all these COVID protocols where only one person can be in the room, and you can't be in the room past a certain time. unless you're blah blah blah. Unfortunately, we have a 3-year-old, so someone has to stay home with the 3-year-old. So right now he is asleep as I look at the baby monitor, and there he is, uh, I don't know what I was about to say. I was napping, but sleeping. I was about to say slapping, but So yeah, I'm kind of like in this weird eye of the storm because in a couple days she will be returning home with our new baby, and I will become a little bit busier. So this, it's our second kid, so it's not my first rodeo, but the videos may be a little shorter and a little bit more sparse, but I think after kind of like we establish a base of schedule, my wife stays home, so that makes things a lot easier. We only live within like 2 miles of our parents. I know we really branched out here. And we have people at work that are super cool. I'm very blessed. I'm a very lucky person that I have so many friends and family that are nearby. So, I know you've probably already hit the unsubscribe button, but just hold off, just relax. They're coming in, and I also have an amazing support team of folks in the Discord. Slugger is a huge help, and Halvard and Bob, and there's actually a host of people that have been helping me put information together. So no fears, no worries. The information's going to keep on coming, and I'm hoping to bring you guys some Season 2 videos. The new secondaries are coming. All sorts of fun stuff ahead. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Spore Freak, and yeah, stay tuned for more.